What's up, everybody? Welcome to Big Blue Avenue. This is week 16. I'm Tom Scavetta, joined alongside lovely co-host, as always, Sam Cardona. Sam, how are you feeling? Tough week 15 loss. The team looked flat. We were pretty distant this week in text, not as lively as last week. So it was definitely a tough game to watch. But how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Definitely hanging in there. Kind of looked like same old Giants this past week. Not really thrilled with the way we were playing, but nonetheless, I'm keeping ourselves hopeful for the rest of this season. But yeah, it was it was a game, but it really wasn't all that exciting. And I'm sure our guest from last week is very thrilled with the fact that Tommy Cutlets did not really show up and show out the way he thought he was.
That's right. Our guest last week, Sean. We put up a YouTube short of him making an interesting prediction if you're a Saints fan or a Giants fan. So feel free to go check that out. We have a returning guest tonight. First time this year. It'll be Sporty Jordy, one of Sam's best friends, Jordan, on the show in just a few minutes. So we appreciate her for taking the time out of her busy schedule to join us tonight. And Sam, quickly here, I want to get a key takeaway from you for this game. So the Giants were just 2 for 16 on third down. Tommy DeVito sacked 7 times, left the game with a concussion, came back to start the second half. But those 7 sacks, the O-line returned to old form. Waller was back, but it just didn't make a difference. Is the honeymoon over for Tommy DeVito this season, or is this just a little pause in the action?
I was expecting this to happen at some point. It was not going to be a situation where Tommy DeVito was going to lead us to the Super Bowl. It just, those are very high expectations. Um, was this the way I really wanted to see it go down? Not really, but I was expecting a loss at some point. This wasn't all Tommy DeVito's fault. I know that he didn't look fantastic, but like you said, the offensive line was terrible again. Especially the following week. There's 0 sacks. They were doing a great job. But this past week, Tommy DeVito was just getting the taste of the medicine that Daniel Jones has been getting for, years at this point. So, I'm not really surprised, but I honestly don't think the honeymoon itself is over. I just think, we kind of have to now adjust and Tommy DeVito is going to get figured out at some point. The more he plays, the more tape there's going to be for defenses to watch. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So I'm not really too worried. I'm still excited to watch them, especially with these last 3 games we have going for us. 2 obviously hard divisional games with the Eagles. But I still have a feeling that the Rams are a winnable team and that we can do what we have to do like the way we did against the Packers. So, we've seen it happen. It's not the fact that we haven't seen it yet. It's the fact that we've seen it happen and we know it can happen. And it's just a matter of doing it again.
I'm also not convinced that the honeymoon is over. I think it's realistically still in the starting phase. Look, big overreaction. Quarterbacks will lose games. Teams will lose games. DeVito did not lose us this game. The Giants' offensive line and secondary lost us this game, and coaching, quite frankly, to be honest with you. The Giants didn't blitz enough on defense. I mean, people were tweeting it out all game. They're playing soft zone, cover 2. They're not blitzing enough. When the Giants blitzed in this game, which wasn't much, they had success, Sam. Pinnock had the only sack of the game, full sack, I should say. I thought A'Shawn Robinson played very well in run defense, one of the better run defenders in the league, playing next to Dexter. But the Giants' defense allowed Derek Carr to throw 3 touchdown passes, and I did not like the way the defense looked. For me, it's the end of the line for guys like Adoree Jackson, Darnay Holmes. And it sucks with Adoree, but would you agree that the writing's on the wall? He's a UFA after this year. He's not coming back.
No, I unfortunately he's done what he's got to do. He's aging out of the position. Unfortunately, it's just what happens, and there's no space for him on this team anymore. So he did what he had to do, these past few years. But I'm not too keen on keeping him around.
Absolutely. Definitely a player that we need to move on from. Also, Randy Bullock left the game with a hamstring injury on a
Yes.
kickoff, and Jamie Gillan came into the game, blitzed in a 40-yard field goal. Your thoughts on the luxurious Scottish hammer drilling that 40-yarder? I mean, pretty much our best play of the game. I
Yeah.
have to say.
I was so that was when we really started talking, was when I was like, is Randy hurt? Like, I watched him walk off the side, he was grepping at that hamstring. And when they were like, yeah, our backup kicker is Jamie Gillan. And I was like, oh my God, like we're gonna have our punter kick, which, obviously not too far away from each other. But I really was like unsure of the possibilities. He did great. He did a great job. I was very impressed. Right down the middle, like no issues. If you told me at the beginning of this year that we would be having a lot of kicking injuries, I would have been like, that's really random, but it's very important to have a good kicker on your team. And unfortunately, between Graham, now Randy, Jamie Gillan is getting the job done for us. And hopefully, Randy is well enough to come back this upcoming Christmas Day, but I guess we will see.
Type of season we've been having when you go through three kickers. Not ideal, but folks, Giants now have the sixth overall pick in the draft over the Jets right now. Although the Jets are eliminated mathematically, the Giants are not. But the Giants have the higher pick right now due to strength of schedule. And Sam, let's get into our New York Giants player of the week. I just spoiled it. We revealed it. I mean, I didn't know who to pick this week. I
Mm.
was thinking Pinnock, but I mean, we did this once before, but this is the state of our team right now. And that's our player of the week.
Yes, Jamie Gillan. He definitely, like we said, pulled through for us in the times that we needed it. Obviously, we didn't win this game, but he's the one who got points on the board for us. Three of those points at least. So we had 5 punts for 238 yards. He averages 47.6 yards per punt. His longest is 53. So one punt down inside the 20, and he was 1 for 1 in field goals, obviously that 40-yarder. He is a Pro Bowl candidate, and I added this lovely bullet point at the end here. The man has luxurious hair. You can't deny it. He obviously, does something to it to keep it growing, but I can't believe I just had to read off punter stats.
And
It's incredible.
I'm not surprised you agreed with me on him for player of the week. By the way, remember the London game last year? He had to stay back because he's from Scotland, so the passport issue thing, he
That's
was like
right.
3 days behind.
I
Ridiculous,
remember.
but yeah, enough about the punter. Although a lot of his punts were good, like he helped flip the field multiple times,
He
pinned
does a
back to the
great
punt.
job punting for us.
He does.
Figuring
Um,
we do it a lot, so.
Last topic before we bring up Jordan, the Tommy DeVito mania troubles. So there was a false report today, and Sam, I'll let you lead this, but I just want to get us into it here.
Mhm.
DeVito has hired a new marketing agent who you're very familiar with, Maxx Lepselter, I believe that's how you say it,
Mhm.
replaces Sean Stellato as his marketing agent. Sean Stellato did not get fired. The agent that's taken over the internet with the fedora, with the St. Patrick's Day attire last week. Stellato will remain DeVito's agent for football-related matters, and there was an interesting event that happened this week. So Caniglio's is a pizza shop in Morristown, New Jersey, that had originally scheduled an appearance with DeVito, but his fee doubled from 10,000 to 20,000. And there's a little miscommunication there between Stellato and the client. And DeVito wound up just going for free the other day. I mean, that's such a
Mhm.
classy move to do, but just what happened there and what are your thoughts on this whole new thing with the marketing agent?
Yeah, it seemed very odd to begin with that this was something that was in the news, but I was reading some stuff that Stellato said, which there was no contract in place yet, so that's why the price went up. And originally it was $10,000, and then they upped it to $20,000, and I guess there was some sort of verbal agreement that was, you know, pushed off or whatever. But Honestly, good for Tommy. Good for Tommy for showing up and showing out for a small business that's just gonna, he just went there and did what he had to do. I saw a couple videos of him making soda or something. Like he was doing some fun things over there. And at this point, he probably was saying, "Hey, dude, like I'll go like for $10,000. I don't need that 20,000." And maybe his agents were like, "No, no, no, like this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this." But to go for free, I agree, classy move. He did what he go hometown guy, you don't wanna have your town go against you in any way. So, I thought that that was great by Tommy. And yeah, Max and his father, Mark, are family friends of ours. Mark is coming to my wedding. I've been employed by him for many, many years in the past. So, pretty exciting that we have that nice little connection there. Shout out to the Lepselters and all of the jobs that they gave me in college. But yeah, so it was a good move by Tommy, obviously figuring out, yes, he needs something different than the guy in the fedora doing his marketing for him, and he'll take care of the football stuff.